Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Edge of Your Seat episode of every animated movie of the year. And this time, we checked out Angry Birds, a few weeks after it came out. Okay, look, I do not plan on making a habit of this, but I went to the theater to see Angry Birds, and I kind of just wound up seeing X-Men instead, which was actually kind of a mistake. But I was the one who tasked myself to see every film, so moving forward I'm going to make sure to have these out the weekend that the movie releases. So on to the movie. I first gotta preface this by saying that this will be a spoiler review, reason being Angry Birds has such a simple plot that you can't even really talk about it very effectively without exposing what happens in the movie, because everything you saw in the trailers pretty much happens in like one montage of the movie. So let's rewind back and start with the smartphone game. I was a huge Angry Birds fan. I would download the newest patch when it released, the new levels, I knew what all the birds did, and in essence I just loved the game. I was a huge fan. The premise of the game is simple. You have some birds, you shoot them out of a slingshot and try to knock over the towers of these pigs who stole your eggs. The more efficiently you do that, the better score you get. There's really not much plot or character in the game, which actually made me all the more excited for the movie. And honestly, I've gotta say, this is the best movie you could ask for based on this. I actually really liked the movie. I decided to stay away from other people's reviews this time because I suspected they would be negative and I didn't want them to affect my opinion. But yeah, I felt kind of like a fanboy getting his movie. While I was watching the movie, I was remembering all these birds and having all this nostalgia, and it was just really fun to see personalities applied to these birds who used to just kind of squawk and sit there. They even did this awesome, epic, orchestral remix of the Angry Birds theme song to open the movie, which was very, very appreciated. Now, just like the game, the plot of this movie is pretty much as simple as you can get. Some pigs show up, they trick the birds, they steal their eggs and sail away to a distant island, and the birds have to track them down, load themselves into a slingshot, and royally destroy their structures in order to rescue their eggs. Of course, plot-wise, there is the big change of Red, the main bird played by Jason Sudeikis. He's kind of this outcast who's got an anger problem, because in this world, the birds are all blissfully happy. Oblivious kind of, but happy. And when the pigs show up, Red is the only bird to suspect them. And when the pigs turn out to be bad all along, you get this classic told you so moment, and it's Red who has to lead the civilization of birds who had rejected him in the past, teach them how to get angry, and rally against the pigs. And that's the whole dang plot of the movie. I kind of love its simplicity, and I'll say again, I really think this is like the best movie you could ask for based on the game. Just like in the game, the movie totally doesn't address why birds can't fly in this universe, which I actually love. I don't think it needs to be addressed, it's just kind of a funny thing. Also, the movie gives a fun look into just how these birds became so angry. So as a fan of the game, I say aces all around. However, in the scheme of things, it really doesn't stand toe-to-toe with some of this year's stronger entries so far. The simplicity of its plot and characters leads to some lack of development, and more importantly, stakes for their adventure. I mean, I definitely had an moment at the end when Red got his house included in the town instead of secluded by himself on a beach. But other than that, I didn't have a lot of emotional connection to it. It was more of just a cool to see the game come to life kind of thing. My biggest gripe with the film was its humor. Not only is every comedic part in the trailers pretty much, but with such an outstanding cast, including some of my favorite comedic actors in Bill Hader and Danny McBride, I didn't get the sense that they really got to let loose and improv a whole lot. And I was left with just a laugh or two throughout the whole film. Josh Gad, however, hot off his turn in Frozen as Olaf, delivers another stellar performance, and is the easy standout of the movie in my opinion. This guy is just meant to do voices for animation. But by and large, I really just thought and hoped I would laugh a lot more in this one. One thing, however, is the style. Rovio, the company that made Angry Birds and debuts here as an animation studio, hits very hard, and this thing gushes with style. I really enjoyed being in this world. It was truly gorgeous and stylistic. The structures and the sky and the water, all very creative and slick and different from what you're used to seeing. I also just loved how fluffy the feathers look in this movie. It's kind of a random compliment, but yeah, good job on the feathers, Rovio. Anyways, I hope Rovio continues to make animated stuff outside the Angry Birds universe, because if the visuals of this movie are any indication, they could really make some fun and stylish stuff. So let's throw to the list, where we are putting Angry Birds right below Kung Fu Panda 3. I mean, I'm still really happy with the movie, especially as a fan of the game, and I think it's far above the bottom 2 entries right now, but our top 2 at the moment are still going to remain stiff competition for the films to come. With Secret Life of Pets and Finding Dory on their way, things are heating up quick, my fellow Toon fans. I mean, so far each film has been very easy for me to place on this list, so I'm hoping to see a movie soon that mixes things up a little bit and forces me to maybe bump one of the contenders down a notch, who knows. Either way, stay tuned and check back right here on every animated movie of the year.